Today is a milestone date.
It's our 1 year since we officially started filming.
Our 1 year anniversary.
I love celebrations.
There you go. Hi everyone and welcome to Reality Check, where we'll discuss what's happening in Toronto's real estate market, where it's going, and help you make informed decision buying and selling real estate. Today is a milestone date.
It's our 1 year since we officially started filming.
Our 1 year anniversary.
I love celebrations.
There you go.
That's a lot
And
more
we're
than
not cleaning this up.
champagne is always necessary.
Oh yeah, we need some champagne. And a huge shout out to
Yes.
the From the Ground Up crew that's been putting up with us for the last year.
Shout out to
Amazing.
Laura, Jess, the whole team,
Nick,
the cameraman.
we're gonna have some drinks with them right now.
Woo.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers to you guys.
And
Wouldn't
thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and share it with your friends and family who you think they might find it useful. So let's clean your hair up.
Cheers to the viewers. Oh, your hair is good.
Cheers. Okay, so we're talking about the February market.
The February.
And I remember last year when we were talking about it, it was out of this world. And now we can see the craziness that we were dealing with. So last year, this time, the average price was sitting at $1,334,000. Who would have thought that's the highest GTA market has ever seen?
It was the beginning of the end.
It was beginning of the end, yeah. Who knew? Who knew all the fun was gonna come to an end? But things are picking up and we're gonna show you guys how things are picking up. Let's start with the market watch. Number of sales, just about 4,800 sales. Active listings are sitting just over 9,600. It's been sitting around that price for a while now. And that is the problem, lack of inventory. Average price has actually inched up to $1,095,000, close to 1.1.
Yeah.
We're almost at just before July, I would say, beginning of July prices. So let's compare it to last year. I mean, this time we were at below 1 month of inventory, 0.77, what is that, like 3 weeks of inventory.
Yeah.
And that's why we saw things heating up. I mean, I foresee things, once it goes below 2, we're gonna see a huge jump in the prices.
Yeah.
And as we see, there is a lack of inventory and there's a huge demand. People have been sitting on the sidelines for the last few months. With the huge influx of immigration, I mean, people are gonna come out and buy some homes. And it's not because of a speculation, it's because of the need. So I actually wanna see what's gonna happen once they either increase the rate or not, and if your predictions are gonna come true. So
Well,
I'll
I
be the
actually
judge of
don't
that.
predict they're going to hold. I think they're going to increase by like 0.25.
Oh, thank you. That's what I was thinking.
Oh, okay.
So there you go.
we're on
There's
the
a
same page.
prediction.
I
There's a
actually
prediction.
do think so. I don't think they're going to hold it.
Yeah.
And
I
the
think-
US actually just increased,
Yeah,
or they
so-
announced that they're going to. So
So
let's see.
we'll see. I mean, Bank of Canada said they may hold, but I don't know.
They lie.
I don't buy them.
They lie.
Yeah, they lie. Anyways, moving on. So let's go through the dot chart. That's
love
my
this dot
favorite chart of all time. So
Same.
this is an interesting one because we've been hovering for a while and then we kind of dipped down. December was a little bit of a low month.
Naturally.
January was I would say, a little bit of a disaster.
The end of January, we picked up.
But the reason January was down, and a lot of people have been asking, oh, prices have been coming down. You've been saying, things could be going up. January, I mean, like the first 8 days of the January, people were off. The school was off.
Late this
And
year.
no one's going to go shopping. We saw, things picked up 3rd and 4th week of January. And when we went through February, things just went haywire. I mean, we're seeing multiple offers all the way from Oakville, Brampton, all the way to Newmarket. And that is, again, due to the lack of inventory. And all the multiple offers are on properties that are for end users. We don't see these things happening with, building lots yet or on any of these renovation projects yet. Those properties are actually fetching lower value than normal. With that being said, last February, March, we're at the peak here, and we dipped down all the way to the low of July at 1,075,000, and then we went all the way down to 1,038,000 in January, and look what just happened.
In 1 month, I do want to point out, this
That's
is
about
30 days.
That's about 5% jump. With that being said,
will it continue to go up at this incline? Who knows, right? I think that's really going to be based on the interest rate hike or hold.
Yeah.
One thing's for sure, supply and demand, right?
See, that's the whole thing. Right now, due to the lack of inventory, not a lot of homes are out there. And the ones that are out there, they're a little bit of a garbage product that are been sitting on the market. The ones that are renovated, that look good, they feel good. You walk in, everything is looking amazing.
The way things should be done.
The way things should be done. Don't be putting your house on the market, with not professional photography, not staged, and not cleaned. So.
Dirty people.
Whoa. Anyways, so right now we're sitting at 1,095,000. The way I'm looking at these things, I think we're gonna go over 1.1 at this rate, unless there's an influx of listings coming up, which will come up. With the weather getting better, there's gonna be more homes coming on the market, hopefully, but with the amount of people that are standing on the sideline, and if Bank of Canada signals that they're holding the rate, things are gonna spike.
That's kind of what I'm worried about. It's like everyone that's been waiting.
That's what I do when I worry.
I know. I started drinking quite a bit since I've met you. No complaints. No complaints.
Your lifestyle's improved.
Absolutely. But no, that's kind of what I'm worried about is everybody that's going to be comfortable now to move forward and make those decisions, right? And make those plunges into the marketplace.
Exactly.
And that influx of people will definitely put pricing pressure upward because there's no inventory. And I don't think there's going to be inventory because I think sellers are really stuck in the whole idea that I'm leaving $400,000 or $300,000 on the table. They're still stuck in last year's February pricing.
And you know what the conversation they should be having with themselves? You're going to be buying cheaper unless you're cashing out. I don't see what their problem is.
They're so stuck on the media. They're so stuck on, that whole ideology that they're not looking at this. And that's why we do this, guys, to really educate everybody so that you can be ready to do either buy or sell, whatever it is that you're needing to do. But the point of what I'm trying to say is, it's not like the sellers are going to be rushing to put their houses on the market because they're still in the train of thought that they're leaving money on the table.
Yeah.
So I think the inventory problem will still really be one of the base, other than the interest rate hike. I really do think that will be the base reasoning for pricing to go up in March.
Exactly my point. And now we're going to move you here. I'm going to go on the sideline because you can take on the show right now perfectly.
No, I don't want to do that.
No, that was
I'm nothing without you.
Good point.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. That was a solid point because I don't think that whole inventory situation is going to get solved. And the whole reason that the demand is going to go up is due to the fact that people are more certain about what's happening with the rates. I mean, even if it goes up another 0.25, another half, we've seen the majority of the jump, and no one foresees another 4%. And that's the key factor. Now, people see the prices. If they're comfortable with the monthly payments,
it's really all the payment at the end of the day.
Yeah, the problem is solved.
But the key indicators, which is really the months of inventory going down, which is like very aggressive, that whole 1 point.
Yeah.
And I also want to say the days on the market. The days on market also is lowering. So those two key indicators, I think, will cause major upward pressure on pricing.
So again, we're going to look at it here right now. So the days on the market sitting at 22. We were just close to about 29, 30 days on the market. Now it has fallen down. Things are selling faster. Keep in mind, last year at the lowest point, we're at about 8 days. So, things are still...
We're really narrowing on the gap, though.
Yeah. Things are moving along. In terms of active listings, as we discussed, we've been kind of plateauing at around 9,600, which is not a lot comparing it to what's been happening overall. So let's go into the GTA market as a whole, and let's talk about that whole active listing situation. Right now, we're hovering at 9,600. 2022, we were at close to 7,000. That's why we saw the huge spike in prices. There was not much to buy with a lot more buyers. And all the way back to 2020 February, which again, if you recall, things were heating up leading into the COVID situation. I remember February 2020, there wasn't a lot on the market, and we can see it right now. And that's when the prices jumped. One thing I do want to mention is the fact that the prices have fallen from last year by about 18%. But that was the peak of the market. I personally thought we would be down over 25%.
We're still ahead.
I remember all the articles that we talked about. TD came out, RBC came out with stuff talking about 25% drop in the price.
Yeah.
They were talking about the peak to February. Yeah. So right now we're seeing it. February to February, we're not even 20. So we're at 17.9. And again, because of the lack of inventory we had, I believe. But
it's great to know, obviously, the year to date, but I really want to focus on the month over month even, because that's really where the market is going, right?
So month over month, last month was 1,038,000, and now we're at 1,095,000. So things have picked up, and that's what you need to, that's where you need to pay attention to. I'm going to later on talk about different markets in Toronto month over month from December, just to see where we've come and where things could lead to. Another thing that I want to mention is that don't be so caught up on year over year.
Yeah.
Right now, when we look at 2021 average price, it was 1,045,000. I mean, if you bought in 2021, you're still ahead. So again, you're not transacting. This is not a day trade. You're getting your house, you're living in it, and that's it. Unless you're flipping, which you shouldn't be doing in a market like this. No. Overall, people, when they buy a home, they are living in their average of 7 years. So another thing I want to mention is the whole situation with the condo market. So the condo market, February of 2020 was sitting at around 800,000.
Yeah.
2022, we were still at around 800,000. We're actually a little bit lower. We were at 799, 966. Ooh, a little bit of a drop, a few dollars. But right now we're sitting at 705, so almost $95,000 drop. So the whole reason that prices have fallen down for condos is that there's a lot of condos actually coming into occupancy. There's a lot of deals, again, as we mentioned, on assignments.
I also think people are pivoting and looking at the detached again because of the number of sales.
The gap is closing. The gap is closing between condos, semis, towns, and those who have semis and towns. Gap is closing between that and detached, because the detached had a huge drop in them.
Yeah. And this is really speculative, right? This is our opinion. This is what we're feeling in the marketplace. I don't think that anybody can really tell you what the indicator is for that price difference or that price change. But you know what? We'll probably find out next month.
While we're on the same subject, those looking for assignments, we have a group chat happening on WhatsApp. If you're interested, be sure to direct message me on Instagram or Devaney. We'll get you guys included.
We can get you guys in because they're handpicked deals and they're really hot.
Yeah, those are we've looked at them, looked at the numbers, looked at the area, and they are golden opportunities that are not going to be around for a long time.
They're as good as, and I just want to really highlight this, you can pick up an assignment for what somebody paid for it 3 years ago.
Yeah.
That to me is like a wow steal. Yeah. So definitely don't sleep on it.
And even it's not even that what they paid for it. Don't be fixated on what they paid for it, because I've seen prices that are about 10-15% below what
market
condos
value
next door is selling. Yeah. The seller is still making a little bit of a profit. Let them make it. Why do you care? You're getting a deal regardless.
Everyone's got to make money.
Everyone's got to make money. So, okay, moving on to the Toronto market. Again, Toronto market had a little bit of a less of a drop.
Which is normal, less volatility as usual.
Yeah. Good market to be in, though. So we're at...
So inventory is a little higher, too, than the overall GTA.
Yeah. So we got less than average. So we are down on the pricing 11.5%. And condos are also down around the same price point.
Condos also equate for majority of that number, right?
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. Because there's a lot of condos still transacting that is pulling the number down. And this is why you see average prices in Toronto sometimes much less than York region, because York region is predominantly detached homes, higher price point.
Per unit.
Yeah. Months of inventory, 2.36, higher than, the average. And again, that's due to the condos. Because there's a lot of condos sitting on the market. And again, anyone looking to get in the market, don't be looking for your dream house. Get in the market right now that the prices are good. You're literally grabbing these condos below what they were 3 years ago.
And don't be looking for your dream house, your first purchase anyways.
Yeah.
That's not what you should be doing.
You know what they say? When they say, like, you know what, the best time to buy was 5 years ago?
Oh, yeah.
Well, right now, you're almost 3.5 years ago. I don't understand why you're not buying. So let's talk about York region. York region, see, the average price in York region is much higher. We're over 1.3. Again, that's due to the fact there's more
Wedge
detached.
trading, exactly.
Yeah. And the drop in the prices are a little bit more than Toronto, as expected, close to 18%.
And the months of inventory are still super low.
But the inventory came down drastically, and that is, again, due to the fact that the prices dropped so much that homes are looking attractive. I was actually looking for a client a few weeks ago, and we went there. Literally, there was a lineup of people to get into this house.
Yeah.
And we're talking about Jefferson Side Road and Bathurst area. A beautiful neighborhood. You know, homes are newer. We couldn't even get into the driveway. There was so many cars parked, like multiple showings happening. I mean, like, clearly COVID is over because before it was one showing at a time. Door was wide open. There was like probably like 5 agents with their clients inside. And nuts.
Well, demand is high, supply is still low.
So that's a problem.
And if pricing is low, then demand will also be higher.
And again, these homes are, again, trading for at a price range that is affordable to a lot of people.
What's the number of sales there? Do we have that number?
Yeah, so sales are 910.
So that's something to say. There's not a lot.
Well, not a lot of sales.
For active listings either.
Yeah. And another thing to also mention is that the average price is sitting at $1,302,000. 2 years ago, it was at $1,206,000. I mean, if you bought it even 2 years ago, you're still up on average about $100,000. So don't be so fixated on what's going on, especially if you bought at the peak of the market.
That's really affordability and cost at its finest, though, 1.3.
It is. Where are you going to find a detached property for that price? And you can still find it. I mean, for 1.3, Richmond Hill is a little bit tough. Around 1.5, I would say you can find good ones. But for 1.3, easily Aurora Newmarket.
And we're talking York right now, so it's like not so far.
Well, yeah, exactly. Moving on to Oakville, something that's interesting.
We have to contrast this.
Yeah, because Oakville was hovering over 3 months of inventory. Now we're hovering below 3 months.
So guess what, guys? That opportunity that we were talking about, when we were saying it's closing in.
What's happening in Oakville is the average detached was hovering, I think, around 2.4 million or whatnot last year. And right now, you can literally find detached homes well below 1.8.
Yeah.
Newer homes in the 1.6, 1.7 million, which you could not find.
You can even rent a home there for like $4,000, like in the last 2-3 months, which was like astonishing to me.
Right now, I actually have 2 people looking in Oakville, and 2 different product type. Detached market has picked up significantly. Homes that are priced at around 1.5 to 1.8, they're all going. A lot of them get multiple offers, and these are newer homes on the north side.
Do you think maybe it's because they were watching our show and they actually heard us and said, oh my God, these are the opportunities, and everyone rushed to Oakville?
They should be, because it's insane.
Do you think it could be?
But I want to give you a good example, like a house that sold around 1.7 million a few weeks ago. Last February, sold for 2.35. Same house. They were like 2-3 years old. And so, I mean, why wouldn't you want to get a $500,000 discount and get it? And people are seeing things are going to go up. So again, Oakville is one of the areas I personally think there's a huge potential to still get in.
It's one of my favorite pockets, I have to say.
I love downtown Oakville.
Yeah, if you're raising a family, great school systems. I mean, there's still some time to get in. Prices haven't obviously surged.
Some good restaurants, bars.
Yeah.
Good situation down there.
Love it there.
Another thing I want to talk about is Brampton. We usually don't talk about a lot about Brampton, but months of inventory is drastically low. 1.6 months of inventory. We're seeing the prices go up. So with that being said, the other area that is really low is Durham region. We get the Durham region, and that is, right now the average prices have fallen below $1 million, and we're seeing that average price come back up. One thing I want to right now talk about is what has been happening in the detached segment in a few pockets.
Yeah.
So,
you want to do like a side-by-side?
Yeah, side-by-side, just to see what's been happening there. We're going to compare Toronto, Richmond Hill, Aurora, Newmarket, Mississauga, Oakville. Toronto in December, was hovering at 1.627 million for a detached price. January, when we had the low, was the average price was the lowest.
Lol.
Yeah, it was at 1,486,000, so almost $200,000 drop. Now we're over 1.7 million for average price in February. Richmond Hill, again, it's been going nuts. Lack of inventory. It's been hovering at about 1.932 million in December. 1,948,000.
Still strong.
Yeah, and right now we're hovering at 1.9 million. So it's been kind of like flatlining. Mm-hmm. Again, that's because of lack of inventory. That's why we saw it was so low in terms of months of inventory in Richmond Hill. And this is just talking about Richmond Hill. Aurora is an interesting one.
Wow.
December was sitting at 1.4 million for a detached. Mm-hmm. January went up to 1,671,000. I mean, I had clients in Aurora and I'm like, listen, prices are going up. They're like, what are you talking about? It's not. And then the stats came out. I'm like, guys, look at this. Don't look at the average price of Treb market because they take all condos, townhomes, everywhere into consideration, and the condos pull that average price down.
I think when you look at this exact chart and you can show somebody this like side-by-side comparison of the literal month over month, it really puts things into perspective for people. Like when you say listen to me or listen to us, it's like we're not basing on this on a whim. We're really like in the marketplace and we're looking at the numbers. The numbers is where we can base our opinions on. You know, it's not just like, oh, I feel like you should rush and go buy something because
so from December to January, 271,000 increase in the prices. In February, it came down to 1,565,000, and that was due to the lack of transactions. Mm-hmm. Not a lot of detached came on the market. Talking about new market, I literally saw the jump happen so quickly. We're at 1.194. $1,194,000 in December. That jumped to over 1.3 million, 1,303,000. And then February, 1,318,000. Yeah. So again, due to the affordability, these areas are going up. We're gonna see that in Brampton, Durham, Mississauga.
Brampton, a lot's happening Bradford. There right now too, though.
Yeah.
Like in like commercial, industrial, and I feel like people want to be where they work.
Yeah.
So because of that, I think Brampton's going to be another hot pocket that if you want to get in, it's closing in.
So again, it's due to the affordability.
Yeah, 100%.
And let's talk about Mississauga. I skipped Mississauga.
Mississauga.
$1,464,000 in December. We go down to 1,379,000 in January. Prices came down, but February went up to 1,543,000. Let's say call it $1,544,000 for detached. So again, as we see, everything is going up. I'm gonna come.
A lot of multiples.
Exactly.
A lot of people.
Same situation in Oakville. December, we're sitting at 1,821,000 for a detached. Now we're all the way up to 1,921,000. Oh my God, that's $100,000.
Yeah.
Right on the dot. So with that being said, where I think
for 2 months, hold on, pause that. That was not enough emphasis on that. 100,000 in 2 months, guys.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I mean, we're not saying it's gonna go up 100,000 every month.
No,
but
I'm just saying
what we're seeing is that we saw the month of inventory peak in January. That's why the prices came down. Now the months of inventory has gone close to 2 months, and it's gonna go below 2 months, I think, next month. And that's where we're gonna see probably, in the high 1.9s in March. So this is why, again, it's crucial. Each market that you're going into, you study it, see what's happening with the sales, with the active listings, get the months of inventory, and
we're happy to personalize this like micro market chart month over month for the exact unit type that you're looking at, if it's condo, detached, town, whatever it may be. So don't forget, reach out to us. We're doing this obviously as an overhaul, like a bird's eye view, but we're really happy to do this for like anyone that reaches out and dig deeper into it for you.
That's the whole point.
Knowledge is power.
Exactly. So if you're going to any market, look at the type of product you're looking at, condo, townhouse, semi-detached.
They all perform different.
And the area. Everything performs differently. Don't just look at the stats being up or down. Look at what's going on. So
what's going on?
Let's talk about what's happening in the news. Anything else you want to add, Dev, before we jump into news?
No, I'm good for now.
Okay, so news. I came across this article in Toronto Star. Riskier private mortgages have soared by 72% in Ontario. What the article essentially reads is that in Ontario, private mortgages soared 72% to $2.24 billion in 2021. from 13 billion in 2019. It's in 2021. That essentially means that was before the rate hike. So people were like buying things, seeing the prices are going up. Now the prices have kind of come down. The rates has gone up. There's going to be a problem with that because they cannot afford it. I haven't seen that many power of sales yet. And I yet to see people.
I don't, like, you know me, I don't think we're going to get that power of sale right now. People always figure it out. And I really base this not even on anything real estate related, but just where we are at in 2023 in the world. People will figure it out. They love to buy. We're in a consumer-based kind of mentality.
Yep.
And if you give, I've seen it time and time again, if you get approved for $1 million, you're going to go to that $1 million and you're going to find a way to go to $1 million and change. Nobody that I've ever seen ever in my career gets approved for $1 million and buys at like 980. It's never happened. Everybody overstretched
Well, that's because
themselves.
of the price point, though. Like that price point, $1 million, especially in Toronto, is tough.
I'm not saying $1 million. I'm saying just like I'm
overall,
shooting a round number. It could be like $2 million. It's the same thing. It's just
Makes
it's a
sense.
mentality.
So that was one article that caught my eye. The other one was, you know what we've been talking about, how prices have fallen down. Again, we're February to February. Last February was nuts.
News is also late.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind.
Yeah, because what we're seeing right now, let's talk about March. I think March news is going to be how prices are going, you know, higher than the month before.
Well,
and let's wait till July. July is going to be a good time. Nick, I want you to cut this portion, put it in July.
What happens
when
in
I
July?
say year over year prices are higher?
What's your prediction? Prediction.
I think it's going to be about like 2 to 4% higher. But again, it will be higher.
Yeah.
Unless something drastic happens. But these 5, again, not a financial advice. Don't go buying homes right now just because I said it. I had a few bubblies. So these 5 cities have seen
He's feeling it.
These 5 cities have seen home prices fall by almost 30%. Again, clearly Toronto did not. Most areas were below 20%. But with that being said, the most drop was in St. Catherine, close to 30%. St. Catherine, again, lower price points. These markets have high volatility. Right after St. Catherine was, I believe, London, almost 27%. Then Oshawa, 26.5%. Oshawa went crazy last year. And this is why the prices have fallen down. Again, it goes back to the demand. And these areas, because of affordability, when they're going up, people rush to buy. And then when it falls, no speculation is happening.
People are always in a rush.
Yeah. So again, the link for these articles will be below. You can click and read it. And what else, Dev? I think we're at the end of it.
We're done.
It's 12 months. It's been a year. Last year we started it. Wow.
Yeah, cheers to that.
Crazy.
Not fed up with me yet.
Not yet. And guys, we have a new show.
You have a new show.
Well, we're gonna have Dev on there, talk about pre-con soon.
Yes.
It's called the NK Real Talks. So if you guys want to watch it, be sure to go on my channel. You can click it. We've had 2 episodes out so far.
Love it.
If you find this useful, please subscribe.
Share it with your friends.
And like. And you know what? We have a few reels that these guys are cutting out. Yeah, comment.
Yeah.
Don't be mean. Okay, guys. Thank you for watching.
Have a beautiful day, guys.
See you next time.